magic. I pitch pitches those with the short attention span. When I drop a lyric, I know you understand the first time you don't have to rewind. I keep it simple, I'm annoying like a pimple, like a rash. I press all of your ASS in the flash. Styles I stash in a trunk. My keyboard started pump the speakers. That's the sweetest. I'm halfway done through this track. I can't wait for the play back. Putting old school back on the map. Creating a balance. Creating a challenge to this hip-hop track. I don't want to be like you, speak like you, sound like you. Please, I frown on you. You must want to be like each other because your voices are intertangled. Like I said, a Siamese twins. Devoid of any individuality up in the low quality gibberish of high slang. The same old yin yang. You
Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Yeah, this little Deros, now you know. I said, now you know. The one-man show, the new orchestra. Both Darks in the house, and I'm feeling down, yo. So let me just get to it. I'm feeling down as I write this song. I'm confused. I don't know where I belong. It's like I'm stuck in between generations. I never fit in. Yo, it's frustrating. I'm a lone wolf, standing alone. Always pointing on attack because I don't get high. You think I'm whack, it's him a punk because I don't get drunk. I'm considered weak because I don't run the street. I reject because I treat people with respect. I chump because I don't stop my problem on society. Or blame the man for not hiring me. Or my parents for not being rich enough for not being there. Sorry, life's too short to feel sorry for myself. I want to change the world, not blame the world. Misery, love company. I don't want to lose it to comfort me. The thug life is a new slavery. Men killing men, women having that's what they do. Girls fighting over guys that ain't trying to do nothing to get a job. I pass you every day, bumming on the corners. Around the way, I'm feeling down. If nothing ever goes right, this is the same old story, night after night. I'm feeling down, yo, down. There's nothing like ever goes right. I call it all my might. At the future was light. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. It's the same old story, night after night. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. I call it all my might. But the future was light. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. It's the same old story, night after night. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. I call it all my might. But the future was light. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. Night after night, I talk with all my might. But in other words, I keep chasing skirts and I get hurt, but undaunted. I keep looking day after day. I keep looking for the special mate. She's out there somewhere lurking, and I keep returning on the tongue. But in the end, I always get harmed or taken for granted. So I take it fast or slow. I realize now that all women are hoes. Money grabbing, backstabbing, useless, unappreciative, lazy, with two or more kids. Take, never one to get. I'm feeling down. Nothing ever goes right. Night after night, night after night. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. That's how it's all my might. But the future was light. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. It's the same old story. Night after night. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. That's how it's all my might. But the future was light. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. The same old story. Night after night. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. That's how it's all my might. But the future was light. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. I'm not old. Stop telling me that. I'm not dumb enough to fall into the trap of praising criminals in my raps. I don't care about yourself. That's a cop out. You can't sacrifice your morals. That's selling out. And selling out is what a pop is all about. And if you hustle, then you cheat. If you steal, then you cheat. You see, if you have to cheat to make it on the streets, then your butt is weak. You're sorry, a scrub, a loser, a bump. And if you're locked up to that, and if you look up to that, then you're dumb. You won't make the effort to do right. When you hang out on the corner all night living in fear, but you can't show a big and easy money, but you blow it on fast cars and loose girls who couldn't care less about you. And the boys in your crew couldn't care less. If you died tomorrow, I don't feel your sorrow. I'm feeling down, yo, cause nothing like ever goes right. Come on, my mic. But the future was right. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. In the same old story. Night after night. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. I thought it all my mic. But the future was right. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. In the same old story. Night after night. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. I thought it all my mic. But the future was right. Still down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. It's the same old story. Night after night. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. I thought it all my mic. But the future was right there. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. It's the same old story. Night after night. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. I thought it all my mic. But the future was right. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever goes right. I feel the same old story. Night after night. I don't hate the player. I don't care for the game. I'm just trying to understand it on my outside. I'm looking and I grew up shouting. In a different world, I'm stuck in the middle. Too much attitude to be a walk off. Too much sense to be a spell. I can't be the only one out there. Can I? Can I be the only one out there, you suckers? I'm tired of feeling down. Sometimes up, sometimes down. Sometimes you feel level to the ground. Yo, sucker. Yeah, Rodero, the one man show. I mean, a life thing. Determined to do it right. This one from the heart. When you feel that. I got one question for you. I'm on with it. Hallelujah. Amen. Are you born again? You never know when you 12% on the white cloud. If you're saved, say it loud, say it proud. I'm born again. I'm born again. Amen. Hey, are you born again? Are you ready for the Messiah to the symbol, the book of life? Are you on the page that Jesus gave to you by faith, not so by action? Will you be the satisfaction, not by action religion? Not what Christian was done out of habit. God is offering you a brand new house, giving you a second chance. That's why Jesus died. Was crucified, his perfect body, a ransom for our sins, and the world coming up to God again, and can receive the gift of the Holy Spirit, ignoring the desires of your flesh. You can hear it, you can feel it. Don't be foolish unless they steal it. You can't do anything that God can't fix, that God can't heal. Don't turn your back on this once in a lifetime deal. It's a mandate to the sin. But God will forgive if you're born again. Amen. Amen. Are you born again? You don't know what you do with a sin on the white cloud if you say it. Say it loud, say it proud. I'm born again. I'm born again. Amen. Amen. Hallelujah. Here we go. I get born again. While you are slave to sin, it's not enough to want to change your ways. It's your heart the same why you want to repent. When you know you say to spend doing harm to others. Why you don't? I get this all over. You think God is not listening, not aware. You get dirty and then come to church. What do you think you're playing this song? Acting good and things, but I fool everywhere out. The devil tempts you. God understands and you believe he'll offer his hand and help you get the results you need more total what you want. Don't be deceived by taking Trump. He's a liar. He will fill your desires, leave you in the lake of fire, the most in hell. The devil is the Lord of this world. So I say to every boy and girl, as you get close to God, pray every day and have Jesus help you change your ways. See, I believe, amen. That's how I know I'm born again. And I'm asking you, are you born again? You never know when you supposed to sit on the white cloud. If you say it loud, I'm proud. I'm born again. I'm born again. Come on. No man can never try to determine what we can try to attain or we can attain a certain level of right and wrong or balance. The devil counts every day to lead us in the wrong way. God knows this, so out of love he sent his only son. So lean on Jesus. Don't dismiss that he will help on your behalf. I'm going to face these devils until God's wrath. Remember Job, they did his work to be more than him. No, Jesus was paid for gold. Not because of the deed, but because Job believed, was willing to be tested. He felt confident even under the worst pressure. Shielded by God's love and protection. I'm just a message to him on which he saved or die. It's your choice. You want to be a sinner or you want to be a winner? But I'm asking the question. Are you born again? Do you know what you want to sin on the white cloud? If you say it loud, say it proud. I'm born again. What? I'm born again. You want to be a sinner or a winner? I'm asking the question. Are you born again? You never know what Jesus was to sin on the white cloud. If you say it loud, say it proud. I'm born again. What? I'm born again. Rodero, the one man. For God. For Jesus. I'm just a message. Can't forget the Holy Spirit. Come on. You can come on home and say God's promise. Or you can ride the hell with the devil. It's up to you. I can't make a decision for you. God loves you so much, he won't make a decision for you. But you got a choice. And what you do is up to you. All I can do is worry about myself, my children, my family. Try to get them on the right path. You need to get on the right path. It's faith, not by works. Judged by faith, not by works. Believe in Jesus. Try to live like him. You'll be all right. Go there, bro. We can one man show. I'm out. I don't think so. One man show production. Yeah, Rodero, the one man show. The master of the old school style. And I always keep it real, but I especially keep it raw. That's the title of the song. Raw is War. Ha, 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 ha. Can you feel that? Ha, ha. Can you feel that? Ha, ha, ha. Take a picture, yo, so you can say you saw something like that. Who keeps it raw and sword flow suckers? Who attempted TKO, the one man show. My rap grows as I show and prove I got the sound that makes you move. I have the skills, I have the heart that sets me apart. I devour you chump like a shark. Don't interview with us after dark. You players can count your honey while I count my money. Go them invade my block, or I'll hack your knock. I rock. Wanna be get rocked on the spot like ha. I am what I am. Kicking bubbles like Van Damme. Jaw, Carter, Robert, doesn't matter. My technique's the beats, the splatters, ship kidneys and bladder. You like the whoop with the weak kung fu, but I'm down with the Gracies, the Brazilian Jitsu, like MC Shane. I'm down by law. I'm the only brother who keeps the raw. Your war is raw. War is war. If you didn't want to fight, then what you sign up for? Let me crack my card against your jaw. Cause war is raw. War is war. If you didn't want to fight, what you sign up for? Ha. Let me crack my card against your jaw. Your people are behind you. Guess who? You're a long way to through. They ran away. They were too smart to back a loser like you. Come on, pick it back shot. Here was hold up, pop. Because your round was so weak. Is your throat dry, erotic? I'm smoking that jump. Now you want to pop the trunk? I figured that's why I took the bullets from your gat. So the stage is set. Face your back. Let's get physical. Let's engage. I'm aching to release this penetrate and direction. And she don't plug a simple bad. I'm gonna crack 2 ribs like Marla gift. You'll be hooking up. The beat Jamaica. If I catch you in the back, breaking sidewalk, man, I can jam your ass to the concrete. This is one geek too hard to beat. I'm a total package. That's why I ravage these wannabe savages. Hooligans who've been caught or more than a cabbage patch dog. If you speak like this, fucker, he gets paid, mother. Your war is raw. Raw is war. If you didn't want to fight, what you sign up for? Cause raw is war. War is raw. If you didn't want to fight, what you sign up for? So let me crack my paws against your jaw. Ha, 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 ha. Let me crack my paws against your jaw. You wish you could hit like this. Yeah. You say I don't belong on the same stage as you, but you whine about your situations. Boo hoo, screw that. Cause I'm about dominating. I'm more annoying than a bitch mistreating, leaving trails of blood. From state to state, town to town, for the flesh, but I count the next to the ground.
If you can't find anywhere that can brew your
You can see this vigil that is starting to grow behind me, this memorial here on Figueroa and 28th Street. This is one of those 5 apparently random shooting locations that left 2 innocent people dead. Tonight, family members coming together to mourn. They're also asking the question, why? Shedding tears, holding candles, and offering flowers, mourners gathered at a vigil for the victims of Tuesday's horrific shooting spree, which claimed the lives of 2 innocent people. This is where newly married 25-year-old Alexis Carbajal lost his life just after 1 a.m. when a gunman in a white Jeep Cherokee drove the wrong way in this Starbucks drive-thru on Figueroa and 28th, opened fire, killing Carbajal, who was sitting in the vehicle with his wife.
He didn't just greet you, he gave you a smile. He never changed who he was. He grew up and was the same kid.
About 20 minutes later, the gunman struck again on Figueroa and 7th, shooting and killing 42-year-old Uber driver Mingzi Ju, father of an 8-year-old boy and 2-year-old girl, the sole financial provider for his family.
He was a hard-working, gentle, kind, deeply loving father and very dedicated husband. The family is really at a total loss without him. They are struggling and dealing with this tragedy.
Family spokesperson Yuki Kutchin said that Chu's family came to South Pasadena from China in 2016. She says they are distraught.
I mean, the kids are young. It takes kids a long time to process. She is, of course, absolutely devastated. She's surrounded by, friends and neighbors, people that care a great deal for the family.
The carnage started just before 1 a.m. on Fig and Exposition when the gunman, who police sources identified as Carlos Lopez, shot at this man who survived with a graze wound to the head. After killing Ju, Lopez led police on an hours-long pursuit, shooting 2 other vehicles on the way. Skyfox was overhead when the chase ended on the 91 freeway in Fullerton, with SWAT vehicles boxing in the Cherokee. You could see Lopez before he fired at police. They fired back, killing him. Now, tonight there are GoFundMes set up for both Ju and Carbajal's families. Tonight, of course, the biggest question is why? What was the motive in the shooting spree? Questions that authorities are trying to get answered. We are told that they are in touch with Lopez's family to try to get some of those answers, but this investigation is ongoing. Alex, Christine?
Such a devastating night. Chelsea, thank you.
I've never felt so close to the possibility of this
Paselec electric bikes for adult, electric mountain bike, e-bike moped with 48V13, a lithium battery, 500W professional EMTB, black. Intelligent power system from the automotive hybrid technology to achieve the perfect combination of power and physical fitness. Power fast drive cutoff is also very sensitive. To the torque sensor as the core of the triple sensor to perceive your power and the state of the vehicle. At the same time through the Bionics algorithm, high-speed calculation of your riding power and the required power to mobilize the motor in time to drive. Power drive. Powerful 500W motor, fully enclosed, waterproof.
The world has a way of changing.
Caught on video, a cab stolen outside a Key Food supermarket in Brooklyn while the driver loaded groceries in the trunk. The victim was loading groceries for the passenger around 5:45 in the afternoon, April 19th. The car was running with the keys in the ignition. The driver was dragged a short distance as the suspect got away. The car was found 2 days later with a damaged trunk around 3 miles away in East New York. If you recognize the man in the video, call 1-800-577-TIPS. Katie Johnston for CBSN New York.
Breaking at 11, an ATV tragedy. A 14-year-old boy hit and killed riding across a metro Atlanta highway. Chopper 46 flying over the wreckage tonight.
The crash happening late this afternoon in Clayton County at the intersection of Highway 138 and Highway 314.
CBS 46's Tori Cooper is live there tonight, speaking exclusively with the victim's family. And Tori, they are devastated.
Yeah, Elijah told me he still can't believe that a day of fun would take a dramatic and devastating turn like this, but he says it's an excellent reminder for parents and teens looking to ride ATVs.
We was down here at the little cul-de-sac thing. He wanted to go to the store, but I told him no, let's not go.
He says his nephew was also just 14 years old with a personality bigger than life. He loved the freedom of an ATV ride, but he didn't realize the familiar route included a risky cross.
I heard a big crash. I came back and I seen his body on the floor.
Police say Elijah's nephew was hit by a driver and killed trying to cross Interstate 138. Chopper 46 capturing the chaos from above. It's a nightmare another local mother can relate to.
And he was also on the ventilator once I got to Atlanta. It was almost like he was dead.
She says traffic isn't the only danger parents need to know about before letting their kids get on an ATV.
That he tried to do a burnout or a donut or something, and basically the ATV flipped, and when it flipped, it kind of threw Zayden out and landed on top of him.
Her 6-year-old son Zayden was hurt while riding an ATV in Atlanta just last month.
Watch them. Don't let them get on with just anybody. make sure it's someone that knows how to operate it. And please let them wear a helmet.
Zayden had to have his kidney and spleen removed.
So thank you for everything.
Thank you for everything.
His mother is just thankful he still has his life. It's a message Elijah Glad says he'll take seriously and ask others to do the same in memory of his nephew.
If it's traffic going through, don't even try to risk it.
Now, the Clayton County Police Department tells us that this crash is still under investigation, but that the driver stayed on scene to cooperate with officials. Reporting live in Fayetteville, I'm Tori Cooper, CBS 46 News.
Tori, thank you.
Just hang on. I'm not going to leave you.
Now, breaking news from CBS 17 News.
The FBI launching a federal civil rights investigation, and the governor is calling for a special prosecutor to look into the shooting of Andrew Brown.
He was killed in Elizabeth City last week by deputies serving a warrant, and tonight CBS 17 has obtained surveillance video from a nearby camera. CBS 17's Maggie Newland joining us now live with a look at that video and what it shows. Maggie.
Well, Rod, it's important to note this video does not show the shooting of Andrew Brown. That happens off camera. But it does show some of what happens before the shooting. I want to go ahead and play that video for you. Now, these are two angles of what's happening at the same time. You can see a truck here full of sheriff's deputies. They're wearing what appears to be SWAT gear, and they are going down the street here. Now, if you look, you can see that this is where the deputies are stopping. This is the area where they were serving the search warrant. You can see that they are jumping out of the truck right now. I'm going to go ahead and pause this video, and if we can take video full right now, you can see what happens after it. All right, you should be able to hear some audio. They're saying put your hands up. Now, it sounds like you can also hear people yelling in the background, and then the video actually freezes there. We are told by the city who gave our sister station this video that a loud noise actually caused the camera to glitch. The shooting happens out of view of the camera. Of course, this video you're seeing right now, it does show a very limited perspective. It's not the video, we need to make clear, that the Brown family is asking for. They're currently demanding to see all the body camera videos as well as any dash camera video of this shooting. Yesterday, lawyers from the family say they were allowed to see only 20 seconds of video from one body camera. Today, lawyers presented the findings of a private autopsy ordered by the family. They say it shows Andrew Brown was shot 4 times in the arm and once in the back of the head.
It went into the base of the neck, in the bottom of the brain, the skull, and got lodged in his brain.
And the sheriff's office said in a statement that the private autopsy is only part of the puzzle. Under North Carolina law, body cameras can only be made public by a judge. Numerous media outlets, including our company Nexstar, have gone to court to ask for access to that video of the shooting. There is a hearing scheduled for tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Meanwhile, the governor has called for a special prosecutor to handle all matters regarding the shooting. He says that would assure the community and the family that the decision on pursuing criminal charges is conducted without bias. The FBI field office in Charlotte will be leading the civil rights investigation. Maggie Newland, CBS 17 News.
For more on the coronavirus, let's bring in Dr. Tyson Bell. He's a critical care and infectious disease physician and medical ICU director at the University of Virginia. Dr. Bell, welcome. It's good to see you again. So under these new CDC mask guidelines, fully vaccinated people don't have to wear a mask outside as long as they avoid crowded areas. What are your thoughts on this new guidance?
I think this makes a lot of sense because we know that being outside rather than being inside does limit the spread of COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2. In addition, we know that being fully vaccinated does decrease the risk of asymptomatic infection. And asymptomatic infection has been a major driver of infections across the globe. So putting the two together, it makes a lot of sense. We do have to still use common sense, however. So we don't want to be around large crowds, particularly those that are packed in tight. There's a famous example of the White House Rose Garden event from October of last year. So being outside in and of itself is not enough. But ultimately, I think this is good because it provides other incentive for people who may be on the fence to get vaccinated to get back to more things that are close to normal life.
Well, realistically, going unmasked in a group outdoors means trusting that those that you've been with have been fully vaccinated. Dr. Bell, do you see some risk in that as people gather, especially with extended family and friends?
Well, sure. And I think whenever two groups of people come together, there's going to be an element of risk there. We can't avoid that with the pandemic. What we're getting at here is that that risk is low. So if you're fully vaccinated, especially if you're around other fully vaccinated people and you're outside, that is going to be a low risk, not zero risk, but low enough that it can be tolerable. Especially if you're around other people that are vaccinated and other people that are low risk if they were to acquire infection. So I think there's a balance here between trying to get people incentive to get vaccinated, trying to gradually transition back to doing more normal things. I don't think it's going to be like a light switch where we just all of a sudden take all the mask off and do everything as we're normal. This is a way to kind of ease into it.
Right. I think a lot of folks are going to feel like that's what they want to do initially, is be kind of very gradual in the way that they sort of re-enter those kinds of social gatherings. Well, a number of states, Doctor, are seeing a major drop in vaccine demand. At least 7 are administering less than 70% of their supply. Is that concerning to you?
I think it means that we have to change our strategy. So for the most part, we vaccinated the people who have been eager to get vaccinated and those have been able to, either because they could sign up, they could drive a certain distance, they could take off time for work. But now comes the hard part. We have to effectively message those who may still be on the fence or less eager to get vaccinated and those who have difficulty gaining access to vaccination. So now we have to get it more widely distributed, the vaccine, into communities so that you come across on a regular basis, because the two are actually linked. Your decision to get vaccinated can in part be linked to your access, such that if you are on the fence, but you're seeing it regularly in the course of your daily life, and you're seeing people around you getting vaccinated and getting protected, that's that extra incentive for you to get vaccinated. So we have to switch strategy and play more ground game now.
Well, the CDC is predicting COVID deaths in the U.S. will drop again this week. Do you believe this trend will last?
I certainly hope so. I've learned to be humble when trying to predict the future when it comes to the pandemic. But here's what we're seeing now. Over half of adults have been vaccinated at least with one dose of COVID-19 vaccine, in addition to over 82% of those who are 65 and above have been vaccinated. So you could draw from that we are going to see less deaths, which is certainly good news. Temper that with the fact that we are seeing more young people being hospitalized. So Michigan, for example, are seeing double the number of people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s being hospitalized than they were in the fall peak. And part of that is linked to the variant spread, particularly B.1.1.7. So we still have to stay vigilant and stick with public health measures and expand vaccination as much as possible. But I certainly hope that this trend continues.
Finally, Doctor, the U.S. is sending supplies to India. In the last week alone, India has reported more than